Welcome aboard, everybody. Friday. It's finally Friday. Is that a good thing? Every day is Friday if you're a longevity distributor. Did you know that? Every day is Friday because it's everybody's favorite day of the week if you're in the workforce. Why? Because you don't have to work tomorrow or the next day. You get a couple days off. Well, if you have a home-based business, which is successful, which is relatively easy to do with longevity, if you're open to coaching, if you're open to working, it's relatively easy to do. Then every day is Friday because you get to set how many hours a day you work. And once you get the ball rolling, man, it's fun. And like they say, when your work is fun, it's not really work anymore. You get to set your own schedule. You get to set your own salary, more or less. You get to be the emperor and the empress of your own domain, and that is a completely different experience than working for the man. I highly recommend you try it. Longevity has two ways in which you can interface with them to become business builders. There's a dip your toe in the water way. It's $10. $10 one-time enrollment fee. How about that? If you really want to go all in, and if you do the one-time $10 enrollment fee and you try out the business and you like the business and you're good at the business and the business is working for you and you're kicking yourself in the head thinking, why didn't I do this 20 years ago, then you can come all in as a CEO. And that's a $500 one-time fee, $500. And for your $500 investment, you get over $500 worth of product that you can sample and use to grow your business. So it's like, man, never fail fudge. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're missing. Is this business for everybody? Absolutely not. It is not. Can everybody be successful at being self-employed? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But, again, it's not nearly as difficult as you think it is. And you're not going to know until you try. You don't know what you don't know. You have no idea. So my advice, if you haven't yet joined Longevity, get in touch with the person who introduced you to Longevity and have them sign you up as a distributor for $10 and have them coach you and teach you what to do. If you're listening to this radio show because you found me on the Internet or somebody said, hey, you got to listen to Dr. Glidden, and they weren't already involved in Longevity, then sign up with me. Sign up with Team Glidden. And let my team hold your hand and show you the ropes, and then you can see whether it works or not. I mean, isn't this why we go to college? I mean, isn't ostensibly the goal of college to get you exposed to a number of different areas of study, and then you can figure out which one fits you best? Isn't that why we send kids to college? I know theoretically it's why. We want to talk about what really happens in college. That's a whole other conversation. But it's like that with life, right? I mean, you don't know until you try it. And, like the fellow said, how do you make God laugh? Well, tell him your future plans, right? If someone had told me when I graduated medical school, in 1991, however many years ago that was, that I'd be doing a radio show 2 hours a day out of my home, talking to people, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people all around the world, working for a multi-level nutritional company, I would have told them you were crazy. I had no idea that this was going to happen to me, and I love it. It's the best thing I ever did. This is the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, not really one of the best things. Best thing that ever happened to me was meeting my fiancée, and then there's the birth of my son. It's right in there. Everything's at the top of the pile. Hard to know which is numero uno, but I'm telling you, this longevity gig is right up there. It's awesome. Why? Because it works. And what happens when it works? People get better. People stop suffering. People recover their health. People start to live life again. People start getting out of fear and into joy. People stop worrying about when the next shoe's going to fall. People stop worrying about whether or not they're going to be able to make the next mortgage payment, because you know what? It's easy to make the next mortgage payment. Not only that, we're putting some money into savings every month. Woo-hoo-hoo! Really. Now, it's not for everybody, and I don't know if it's for you, but my point is you don't know if it's for you either. You've heard the testimonials on this radio show. We don't talk very much about the financial testimonials, but we're going to change all that up this year. We're going to have a financial testimonial day or a financial testimonial segment on the radio. Now, I'm only going to take calls from people who are telling us about what they have done with their income, because that's a big part of it. It's like the billion-pound gorilla in the room that nobody wants to talk about. Oh, no, we can't talk publicly about money. Oh, no, that's verboten. Baloney. You want to have a happy life, you need a happy wife. You want to have a happy wife, what do you need? You need money. Money makes the world go around. And, a friend of mine, Rich Stocks, who's a multi-million-dollar earner in longevity, wrote a really good book, 10 Reasons Why God Wants You to Be Rich. And if you're using Testament or Scriptures to justify your poverty, you've got it all wrong, kid. You've got it all wrong. It's a really great book, 10 Reasons Why God Wants You to Be Rich, by Rich Stocks. Do a Google search for it. Check it out. There's a lot of really nice inspirational stuff in there. It really kind of puts it all in perspective to you if you are of a religious mind. But one way or the other, you're not going to know until you give it a try. And what's the worst possible thing that could happen? You lose $10. I mean, $10. I've spent $10 at Starbucks. Are you kidding me? $10? You don't want to try this for $10? You got a screw loose. Next time you go to the restaurant, ask the waitress to bring you a clue. Check it out, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. If you heard about me through hook or by crook, through Google search, through the internet, through some method other than a direct referral from a longevity person, sign up with me and let my team show you the ropes. And if you've come to this radio station on the advice of a person already in longevity, get with them, because that's how we do it. There's no shenanigans here. We support the upline. We support the downline. We support the crossline. We have to have a lot of integrity in this area. So get with the person who told you about longevity and say, hey, what's this business opportunity I hear Dr. Glidden talking about? Tell me about that. I want to know. And we're going to change your life. Work it, and then see for yourself whether or not this fits. I mean, what do? You just buy clothes. You just go to go to TJ Maxx, go to Nordstrom's, go to JCPenney, go wherever it is that you go to buy clothes and just pick anything off the rack and take it home. No, you try it on, right? You try it on. Well, you got to try this business on also, or you're not going to know what the deal is. And, in addition to being a really sound economic method, it's really, when you look at the numbers and how much you need to invest and what your return is, you'd have to be an idiot not to give it a try. Because there's no other business where you can get such a remarkable return on your investment for such an eeny-weeny-teeny investment. I don't know of any. And when you compare longevity's payout plan to other network marketing companies' payout plans, longevity rises to the top. Longevity has an extremely generous and easy payment plan. It's easy, breezy, lemon squeezy. But again, you don't know what you don't know. And you need to. Because how much credit card debt you got? What do you think, that's just going to magically go away? You think you're going to win the lottery? Well, who owns your house? Who owns your car? What do your future prospects look like? How many weeks away from work can you take a year? And where do you go on vacation? What do you go, downtown to the 7-Eleven? You go downtown to the Dairy Queen? Is that where your vacation is? Well, how about Paris? How about Brussels? How about St. Petersburg? How about Hong Kong? How about Australia? How about Germany? Right? Check that out. Does that even exist as a possibility in your mind? It exists as a reality in the mind of the majority of longevity distributors. Because we don't shrink our dreams to fit our budgets. We grow our budgets to fit our dreams. And that's a much better way to walk planet Earth. A much better way to walk planet Earth with freedom. Now, am I talking about becoming an overnight millionaire? No. I'm talking about slow and steady improvement in your health, slow and steady improvement in your wealth. And if you become a student of the business, if you grab the reins by both hands, if you take the bit between your teeth and run with this, and exercise your full potential, and work outside of your comfort zone, if you are able to be coached, if you are willing to take advice and work it, sky's the limit. There are over 250 multi-million-dollar earners in this company, and they're no different than you. What do you think? They have the magic money-making gene? No. What do you think? They were all born with silver spoons in their mouth and they just parlayed their family inheritance? No! People from many different walks of life, from many different economic strata exist in longevity. People that started with less than nothing have risen to the top. What one man or woman can do, another man or woman can do. This is not rocket science, folks. It's applied business strategy. And it's a million times easier than you think it is. Give it a try. You're going to love what happens. FireYourMDNow.com. Click on the link to join longevity through Team Glidden. And if you're here because someone referred you here who's already a longevity person, get with them, get on board with the business, and let us change your future. Best way to predict the future? Create it. With longevity. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. We're going to Germany when we come back. Stick around. Ach du lieber! Oh mein Gott! Es Herr Gottfried in the house. That was the worst German I've ever heard. Our old friend Gottfried is back. Let's go to Germany and see what's up. Hey, Gottfried, welcome back. You are live.
Achtung.
Is that it? Achtung?
Yeah.
You're going to have to help me with my German, Gottfried.
Yeah, great guy, you know.
Well, I don't know about that, but we try our best. What's going on in Germany today, Gottfried?
Oh, my goodness. You remember you told me to check my eye pressure?
Yeah.
And I did it today.
Yeah.
And the doctor was flipping mad because he doesn't know that herbal medicine can work things out like that.
So what were the results that you secured that the eye exam revealed?
A year ago, this same doctor told me that I should go and remove my eyes because my eyes will never come back anymore.
Yeah.
And put a glass in my eye so that I can look through the glass instead of having a hole in my head.
So you were suffering from glaucoma, which is high pressure in the eye, and the doctor told you that your glaucoma was so bad, there's nothing you could do to fix it, and you needed to have your eyes taken out of your head.
In 2010, they took me to Heidelberg Clinic in Germany and did a very intensive surgery called CPC. If the listeners don't know what CPC means, it means cyclus photolaser coagulation.
Yeah, so they basically they burned a little hole in your eye. Yeah.
So they did this process for 3 hours.
Yeah.
When I got up from sleep, I was feeling pain, so I told the doctors I'm having pain. They said, oh, it's a normal procedure. I said, no, this sort of laser thing, I don't know much about it, but I think there's something wrong. But they didn't tell me that something was wrong. After 1 year, my eye get back. I was blind. I can't see anything.
Wow.
So I spoke to you, And I think initially I didn't tell you that this is the operation. I said I have eye problem.
Right.
So you dial in a protocol for me, which I started. And later on, the protocol wasn't working. So I told you what they did to me. Oh, then you took it upon yourself and looked for colleagues in Washington or something like that who are eye specialists, and you get everything, and they said, no, this surgery is very intensive. So you told me if I want to get to the other part of the world, then I need to be very serious with nutritional products.
Yes, I did. So I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, Gottfried. What happened? What was the latest results?
Then you dial in a protocol called fucoisin.
Yeah, fucoisin. Yeah.
I started this protocol with my old protocols since November, I think. Since November, ending of November.
Yeah.
So somewhere along getting to December, I messed up my auto ship, so I couldn't get products because of the holidays. So I couldn't get product. I was on tangerine, but the other things I couldn't get it. So today, I took upon myself and went to the doctor to check my eye pressure. He was saying things because there was a secretary in the office putting things on my internet site, my records. So he was saying the things, and then after that he finished, and I asked him what is the eye pressure. This lady told me my eye pressure, which was 0 and blind, is now 4. I said, again, I asked her again. So she repeated it again. That is now 4, and I just need 10 to get my eyes to get better.
Yeah.
And if you see the time I started this thing up to today, I was shocked myself because I thought my eyes would never come back again.
Yeah.
My sweetheart said, I have to, as I patient, everything will be okay. And then I asked her that you said to me that I have to go for a surgery to take my old eyes out and put the glass eyes in.
Yeah. What did he say when you told him that?
She doesn't want to know. She just asked me, do I need more medical, do I need more eye drops and things?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Stick around, Gottfried. Here's a hard break coming up. I want to encapsulate this for the listening audience. This is a remarkable story. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we get it done, and this is why we need your help. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. January 10th, Friday, January 10th, we're live, coming at you live worldwide. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, talking to Gottfried in Germany about his quite remarkable experience of his eye health and the intractability of the mind of his eye doctor. So let me get this straight, Gottfried. First, they told you that there was no hope for your eye and that you needed to have both of your eyes removed because there's no possible way you could come back from this condition. Then you started holistic medical nutrition, and then you went to have another exam done. And 0 is bad, 10 is good. You were at a 0 before you started the medical nutrition stuff, and then you did the medical nutrition stuff, and then you had another eye exam, and the score went from 0 to 4, 10 being awesome. So you were at a 0, and now you went to a 4. That's a 40% improvement in only a couple of months. And if we're going to attribute this to the fucoisin, which it was only a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Now, when the doctor had your before results and your after results, what did they tell you to do?
Before the result, he told me that I should go to Heidelberg Clinic for another surgery to remove the eyes. I said I will not do that. I told her I will never do that because there's hope.
And after he did the exam and they saw the results, what was their response?
There was no response. She was just quiet, looking at me. So I told her that I've got a doctor in the States. Then she asked me, how do I communicate with the doctor? Is the doctor living in Germany? I said, no, he's in States. He said, this is not possible. No doctor can cure such a eyes. No. So she insisted on giving me this eye drop, which doesn't work because I've used it before for the past 2 years. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So she gave me a prescription to go to the pharmacy to get this eye drop. Yeah. And I collected it because I'm going to post it everything to you with all my medical records to you when my eyes get better. I think within some few months I'll be in a good path.
Well, so it's good to document everything and to have everything, all your ducks.
I've got the medical record, so I'll fax it to you.
Yeah,
and
okay,
you'll
great.
see everything they've done since for the operation and everything.
Gotta love it, man. I mean, this is just great. And the take-home message here for the listening audience is, even when, have you ever had a, teenager who's just a handful, and you can catch them with their hand directly in the cookie jar. You can walk into the kitchen, they've got their hand in the cookie jar, and they will deny it. They'll deny it. They'll talk up a blue streak. Oh, that's not really my hand. That's not really the cookie jar. What are you talking about, Mom? My hand wasn't really in the cookie jar. Yeah. Well, the MDs are like that. Because even when they have evidence that flies in the face of their philosophical understanding of what's going on, they don't see it. They deny it. Oh, that can't be true. That can't be correct. It doesn't go in. Even when they've got direct evidence in front of their face. Same thing happened with me years ago in Massachusetts. I had a female patient with breast cancer. I was pretty sure her breast cancer was caused by Premarin, which is a synthetic hormone that nobody needs to take, and one of the major side effects of Premarin is breast cancer. So I told her to stop taking the Premarin, and I gave her a nutritional support strategy. I wasn't treating cancer. That's illegal. We're not treating eye disease here either. We're just giving Gottfried nutritional support to support and promote the ability of his body to optimize its health. That's all that we're doing. We're not treating disease. And this woman's breast cancer disappeared. And she went back to her medical doctor for a follow-up mammogram. And the medical doctor has the old mammogram and the new mammogram. Tumor here, no tumor here. Oh, by the way, there was tons of fibrocystic tissue in the old exam, and there wasn't any in the new one. So not only had my therapeutics helped her body to get on the other side of the tumor, but it had also eliminated the fibrocystic breast tissue. Now, the doctor's got the mammograms in his hands. And he throws them down on the desk and walks out of the room in disgust. And his office was, I could have walked to his office from my office. We were right next to each other. And never once did he call me up and say, hey, Dr. Glidden, I have no idea what you do, but I had these remarkable results with this woman, and what's going on here? He never did that. Because they don't want to know. They don't. And this is why we recommend people fire their MDs, because they bring to the table and completely set in stone world view that cannot yield even to reality. And this, they're like, it's like a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Right? You're never, ever, ever, ever going to convince a Klansman that blacks are real human beings. You're never going to do it. You're never, ever, ever going to convince a Nazi that the Jews have a place on the planet that's no better or no worse than anybody else, because it's not in their nature to think like that. It is not in the nature of your medical doctor to think about anything outside of which they've been trained, even when they have results, evidence, directly in front of their face. As God is my witness, the worst possible thing that you can do as a human being is give your body over to an MD in the face of a chronic disease. For goodness sake, folks, fire your medical doctor now. Do what Gottfried did. Clean your diet up, nutrify your body, keep your fingers crossed. Wouldn't hurt to get on your knees and ask for a little assistance. You see what happens. Gottfried, remarkable results. Now, the little birdie told me that your wife also secured some, your sweetheart also secured some results. Is she there today?
Yeah, of course. Hi, Dr. Glidden.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing?
Very, very good, but I'll get better. So tell us your story.
Yeah, I also get better. You're doing such a great job, you know. I'm 54 now, and just last summer these hot flashes started. I couldn't believe it. I never thought that I would also get it. So I avoided the bad food, and I had just one bottle of the liquid, what is the name, the hormone balancer.
Yeah, the women's hormone balancer, yeah.
Yeah, and it's gone.
The hot flushes are gone?
Yeah.
They're gone.
They're gone, definitely.
They're not reduced, they're gone.
They're gone.
How long did that take?
The bottle,
So, one bottle of the woman's hormone. And how long were you suffering with hot flushes before you started that?
Yeah, it just started this last summer. It just started.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So
my menstruation stopped, and then all of a sudden I couldn't believe it. These hot flashes, it was hard, yeah.
Yeah, hot flushes, that's a hard row to hoe. And now they're gone with one bottle of the woman's hormone balancer.
In the night I was sweating, you can't believe it, and it's gone.
Now, what's your opinion of medical nutrition?
Yeah, I have my experience with them, so not so good. I don't know if you remember, but I had this surgery at my back, and they cut my bone and all sorts of things. And then when they finished with everything, they said they can't do anything for me anymore, and I had the pain, yeah.
So you went in, you had pain. They did surgery. The surgery gave you more pain.
Actually, excuse me, no, I didn't have pain anymore. I went there and I said, look, I don't have pain, so do we have to do that surgery? Do we really have to do it? And of course the doctor, we have to do it, and you want to be disabled and all sorts of things, And they put so much fear into me that I did it. And then afterwards I had so much pain. I went to rehab for 7 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
And then the pain, and then I was so finished that I went to, the doctors told me they can't do anything for me anymore, yeah. So then I went to a homeopathic doctor, and she did a lot of things for me.
Yeah, well, see, this is interesting, isn't it? I mean, isn't this interesting? And really, I don't understand, as God is my witness, why, and this happens more often than not, right? That they drop the ball, their therapeutics are ineffective, their therapeutics make things worse, and then they don't take any responsibility for it. They wash their hands and walk away and leave you holding the ball.
Yeah.
And this is what is supposed to pass for the world's leading cutting-edge type of medicine. It's nonsense. So glad that you found longevity. I think Gottfried is so glad that he found you.
We are so glad that, and my son also, he says he's listening more and more to your radio show and all sorts of things, and we introduced him, and he's also involved in it, and was spreading the news.
This is just the beginning of a dynasty in the European Union with longevity. Stick around, kids. It's only going to get better from now on. Maintain the discipline. Maintain the diet discipline. Maintain the nutritional support discipline. Gottfried, God bless you. Keep up the good work, and we will talk in the future. That's how we do it, folks. Can you believe it? Well, if you're a longevity person, you believe it because you see this stuff every day. We don't treat disease. We support and promote the body's ability to fix itself. By the way, there's no such thing as arthritis. What's that, Dr. Glidden? What are you talking about? What type of heresy is that? Well, there's no such thing as high blood pressure either. There's no such thing as glaucoma. There's no such thing as eczema. There's no such thing as Lyme disease. There's not. You want me to prove it? All right, I'm going to prove it. I'd like you very much to send me a box of oranges. Could you do that? Why, yes, of course I could, Dr. Glidden. Well, thank you very much. I'd like a dozen navel oranges. Oh, I'd like you also to send me a dozen pencils. Could you do that? A dozen number 10 pencils. Why, of course, Dr. Glidden. What's your address? I'll be happy to send those out right now. Thank you very much. Okay, how about some arthritis? I'd like you to send me 13 boxes of arthritis. That's what I want a baker's dozen of arthritis. Can you do that? What's that, Dr. Glidden? What's that? Why, no, of course I can't do that. Well, how about some glaucoma? I'd like some glaucoma. Can you send me some glaucoma? FedEx it to me. Overnight it to me. I'll pay the extra shipping. Why, no, Dr. Glidden, of course. Well, how about some high blood pressure? I'd like a baker's dozen of high blood pressure. I want it right here tomorrow in my office. Why, what are you, crazy, Dr. Glidden? Of course I can't do that. Because diagnostic names, pathological names, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever, are names given to intangible phenomena. Intangible phenomena, which are showing up in living, breathing human bodies at any moment in time. Godfrey didn't have glaucoma. He had the Godfrey disease. Jane Smith didn't have fibromyalgia. She had the Jane Smith imbalance. Do you get it? We do not treat disease because disease does not exist outside the body. It doesn't. Disease exists inside the body, and your arthritis is quite a bit different from your brother's arthritis. Your fibromyalgia is quite a bit different from your neighbor's fibromyalgia. The signs and the symptoms and the subjective ways that the illness shows up in the world are different from person to person. Only a homeopath knows this because it's only a homeopath that pays attention to these delicate details. Well, acupuncturists do as well. Traditional Chinese medical doctors do as well. But we've been lulled into this languaging that's inconsistent with reality. We don't treat disease, we treat people. We support and promote the body's ability to fix itself. Get the heck out of the way and let the healing begin. And that's a beautiful thing. Stick around, folks. Going to Sherry Bob in Wisconsin when we come back. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. That's your pharmaceutical rep sneaking around in the background. Did you know that the pharmaceutical industry pays $50,000 per physician per year in free samples? Did you know that? And I'm the quack. Let's go to Wisconsin and see what Sherry Bob's up to. Hey, Sherry Bob, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey. I want to continue the conversation that we had on the live webinar last night, which, by the way, is one of the best investments I've ever made in my entire life.
Well, you're my new best friend. Well, that's an awesome thing to say. For the listening audience, in case you don't know, I have an online subscription at my website, and as a subscriber, you get access to 100-plus hours of archived health webinars, and we also do 4 hours of live chat a week. Now, starting next week, it's going to be 5 hours of live chat a week, and I think last night, for goodness sake, it was worldwide, right? We had people from South Korea. I mean, it was crazy last night, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. Totally.
All right, so let's pick up the ball where we left it. How can I help?
Okay, I have two things. One, I want to say one of the ladies that I sent to the webinar last night, she's the one with the gut issues. I had talked to her on Facebook the night before. She said to me, there was a lady from my small town that was killed in a car accident yesterday, and I wish it was me because I can't live with this stomach issue any longer. Yeah. Anyhow, when we got off that webinar last night, there's two guys that stayed in the chat room with her for over an hour talking to her. And now, I mean, she's messaged me. She has hope. She's hope for the future, hope for this company. She's just so excited. Total turnaround.
And that right, and that's what we do. I mean, and that's why that is why that one experience is why Dr. Wallach, in his wisdom, set Youngevity up as a networked business. Because if he didn't set it up as a network business, we wouldn't be spreading the word like this, right? But because it is a network business, it becomes each individual distributor's responsibility to tell as many people in their world as they can, and this is how we're going to change the world, one person at a time, one success story at a time, one little pocket of hope at a time. And it's just a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful community to be involved with, and quite frankly, I'm very humbled to be a part of it. I appreciate the kind words, Sherry Bob.
Yes. Okay, now here's my problem. I'm dealing with my mom with this potassium issue for over a year now.
Yeah.
Okay, her potassium was 5.0, and at that time she was only on the Healthy Start Pack, which she really wasn't even completing one of them a month, plus she was only taking 3 Ultimate daily. Okay, 3 months later she has her blood work done, and her potassium level was now 5.5. So this is when the doctor sent her the letter that she received yesterday teaching her how to boil her vegetables and pour off all the water so all the vitamins and all the minerals are poured down the drain so she doesn't get any more of them because she has too much potassium, too many vitamins and minerals, and because she's worried that she's going to have a heart attack. So anyhow, I've upped the dosage since she's had this. I mean, we need to know what level of potassium is too high. Her
All right,
hands
great,
are tingling.
great. So here's what you need to do, okay? We need to go to the source. And, my strengths, I have areas of pathophysiology that I'm really strong in. This is not one of them. Dr. Wallach is the man when it comes to potassium and the understanding of the metabolism of potassium in the body. I've talked to Wallach about potassium 6 or 7 times, and it just hasn't sunk through my corpus callosum yet. And I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm not going to make things up. So I'm telling you, call Doc on his radio show, and he will tell you everything you need to know about potassium. And the next time I talk to him, I'll make sure I get it. And, by next week, I'll have this dialed in. But I'm telling you, if you really want to get the real skinny on the relationship between the human body, intracellular potassium, extracellular potassium, nutritional potassium, potassium as it shows up in the dialysis machine, you got to talk to Wallach. Call Dr. Wallach on his radio show and let him dial this in for you, Sherry Bob, and I'll do my best to pick up the ball as well. I appreciate you. Keep up the good work. Second hour coming up, folks. Stick around.